The desert wind swept across the vast plains, carrying the scent of sagebrush and smoke from distant fires. In the heart of this unforgiving land, Comanche warriors moved like shadows, their horses as silent as the night. Among them was a young warrior named Dakota, whose skill with a bow and knowledge of the land were unmatched. Dakota had grown up hearing tales of the white settlers, their forts, and the soldiers who patrolled the boundaries of Comanche territory, but he had never thought much about them, until the day he found her. Colonel Whitmore's daughter, Eliza, had been traveling with a small escort to deliver messages between forts when they were ambushed by a rival band of raiders. The soldiers were overpowered, their shouts echoing across the canyon, and Eliza was dragged away from the path, terrified and alone. Her pleas were met with harsh laughter, and in the chaos, she began to despair. Yet, across the mesa, Dakota had seen the smoke and the commotion. Without hesitation, he spurred his horse forward, moving with the grace and precision of a seasoned hunter. Hours later, under the shadow of a rock overhang, Dakota confronted the raiders. The air was tense, the quiet only broken by the faint clatter of hooves and the hiss of arrows. Dakota's eyes blazed with determination. He knew that any hesitation could cost the girl her life. One by one, the raiders fell under his relentless assault, arrows flying, and horses charging, until the last of them fled into the plains, leaving Dakota and Eliza alone. She stared at him in disbelief, her heart pounding not only from fear but from awe at the fierce bravery of the man who had saved her. He offered her a hand, and though distrust and fear lingered, she took it. The journey back to the fort was tense, filled with silence broken only by the soft neighing of Dakota's horse and the occasional sigh of wind through the tall grasses. Along the way, Eliza glimpsed the world from Dakota's eyes, wild, free, and full of danger, yet beautiful in ways she had never imagined. He taught her to track footprints in the sand, to listen to the whispers of the wind, and to move like a shadow among the trees. In those long hours, they spoke little of words, but much of hearts. When the fort's gates finally appeared on the horizon, Eliza felt a bittersweet pang. She was safe, yet the connection she had felt with Dakota was impossible to ignore. Colonel Whitmore, proud of his daughter's survival but blind to the nuances of this fragile bond, demanded gratitude and allegiance, unaware that the warrior standing just outside his walls was no mere rescuer. News of Dakota's deed spread quickly, stirring fear among those who mistrusted the Comanche, and whispers of retaliation began to circulate. Eliza found herself caught between two worlds, the strict, ordered life of the fort and the untamed freedom of the plains she had glimpsed beside Dakota. Every glance he gave her, every slight smile, spoke of a promise that words could never capture. And Dakota, proud and steadfast, understood that their bond could ignite more than hearts. It could ignite conflict, a war neither of them wanted, yet one that might erupt if others misinterpreted their closeness. Despite the looming threat of violence, the pull between them was undeniable, a magnetic force forged in the crucible of danger and courage. As night fell over the fort, Eliza stood at her window, staring at the dark horizon where Dakota had disappeared. She felt the weight of loyalty and love pressing against her chest, knowing that the choices they made in the days ahead would define not only their lives but the fragile peace that teetered between the Comanche and the soldiers. Somewhere out there, Dakota rode beneath the stars, thinking of her. Dreaming of a future that seemed impossibly distant yet achingly close. In that silence, the bond they shared was both a blessing and a threat. A connection that had saved a life and threatened to change the course of many others forever. Would you like me to create scene-by-scene illustrations prompts for this story next?